MLB Talk, New York's #1 baseball podcast. Now here's your hosts, Chris Pizzaya and Rob Maraska.
Welcome to a new episode of NYMLB Talk with your host, Chris and Rob, as we cover the Yankees and the Mets and all of Major League Baseball. And if you're on YouTube right now, hit that sub button, hit that like button, join the chat so you can be part of the show as well. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at NYMLB Talk, on TikTok as well. Follow Rob at Maraska on Twitter/X, and you can follow myself on Twitter/X at CP7NY. So, Rob, we got through the first half. We're at the All-Star break.
We're almost at identical records, right?
I know.
Both
spot.
in second place. Yeah, both in second place.
Right?
And, it wasn't a bad first half, really. The both teams didn't – I feel both teams – the basic problem besides the injuries were I think both teams left too many runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. It's frustrating. That's the frustrating thing because we could see on, just for the Yankees, right? The Yankees series against the Cubs was a great example of what you're saying, right? Friday night was great. They went 11-0. Bellinger hits 3 home runs. Oh, well, we're going to sweep this series, right? Against the Cubs. And then the next 2 games, the offense goes nowhere. Judge hits a home run in the second game, but other than that, I mean, the offense did next to nothing. You guys win the first 2, and then you lost the last game to try to sweep. But it's like we're seeing these teams, both of our teams, basically the same. We're both in the same situation. We've got a couple of good starters. Our bullpens probably need some help. We need another bat, in the lineup. Us at third, you guys probably in center. So it's frustrating, but the trade deadline is here, and let's hope both our GMs are very busy in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, let's hope so, because we need, even though the Mets pitching is healing, we got Senga back, Minaya is back, and listen, even though he got the loss yesterday, Minaya pitched really, really, really well yesterday, right? He had 2 in it. Should he have come in for the 9th? Some people are saying he shouldn't have come in for the 9th. I don't know. Maybe he should have just come in the 9th for one batter. But listen, he pitched really well. His fastball was pretty good. He had 7 strikeouts in the 8th and 9th innings, and he gave up 2 runs. So listen, for the injury he had, for the way he started pitching in rehab, I think it was pretty well. I think it was pretty good.
That was his 4th inning, right? Or 5th inning?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. That was his. I just meant the last 2 innings. No, and he took over for Holmes. Holmes is all right, but it looks like Holmes is running out of steam, and they're gonna have to watch his pitch count because he gave up the 2 runs. The Mets almost came back. All right, so you can't say anything. They tied the game, but they just couldn't win it. The Royals had a walk off. But Friday night and Saturday. The Mets Friday night, they won 10-4 when we were on the air. That game was going on, and it didn't finish till after we got off because of that long rain delay and late start. So they won that game. They were hitting pretty good. Saturday, they also won the game. So we thought they were going to maybe sweep the Royals, but they just couldn't do it.
Hey, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
No, right? 2 out of 3 after what they were going through is not bad at all. But the Yankees, because we want to get to the Winick brothers soon, so we'll go through this quickly. The Yankees, after Friday night when they destroyed the Cubs, we thought maybe the Yankees might, sweep the Cubs. But what happened besides, one of our favorite pitchers pitching, and Lugo. By the way, I just wanted to make something quick. Lugo, I would love to have Lugo back.
I think that would be a great ad for the Mets. He's already pitched here. I think he's got one more year left on his deal, so that's not bad. He was second in the Cy Young last year. He's pitched well this year. So why not? And you're probably not gonna have to give up that much for him. So I can't see why not.
I would go for it if I'm the Mets. So bring me through what happened with the Yankees on Saturday and yesterday, besides the fact that they weren't really hitting.
Yeah, that's basically that and the bullpen. Just they can't hold. They can't hold these guys down. It's amazing how bad the bullpen is, and that's usually one of our strengths. Is the bullpen, and this year it's not. It's frustrating to watch because that's one thing that the Yankees always do. Yankees are good. I no longer doubt. Wow. Okay.
Hey, listen, Jonathan's coming through for you, Chris. Yeah, Friday night and today. Okay. I mean, he's coming through.
Listen, I look at it this way. Both teams. I'm going to speak more about the Yankees, right? Looking forward. Of
course.
That I think if they don't get an impact bat and they don't get help for the bullpen, especially, I don't think the Yankees have a shot at getting back to the World Series. But I think if they do add an impact bat, say at third base, and they add a bullpen arm or two, I think they have a really good chance at the World Series in the American League, because who's really good in the American League, right? Detroit, obviously, pretty good team, but I'm not going to say they're not beatable, right? Other than Scooble, right. I'm not really scared of that pitching staff. Houston's playing great right now, but I don't know. I'm at the point where if the Yankees add a couple of pieces, they'll be right back in it. I think they'll win the division, and then who knows what's going to happen in the playoffs. But that's how I look at the Yankees. I kind of look at the same way with the Mets, because no team in that, in the National League is playing that good that you're going to say, oh, you know what, we got no shot. I don't think the Dodgers are automatic World Series right now. They still got their injuries, even when they're healthy. Well, let's see.
Yeah. Okay. So Jonathan likes Tampa Bay. And yes, they are annoying, as we saw.
Here's something to remember with Tampa Bay. Tampa has played a lot of home games in the first half. They're going to play a lot of road games in the second half because of, right, they don't have the dome anymore, so they had to kind of schedule around the rainy season in Florida and all that. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know Tampa is going to have a lot of road games in the second half, so that might affect how good or bad they play in the second half.
You're right. And I just real quick before we bring on the Winick brothers, I wanted to also mention that Frankie Montas pitched a pretty good game. All right, on Saturday.
How did that happen, Rob?
I don't know what. Listen, he's. I guess he's going through this pattern where he's pitching a decent game, then he's getting bombed, then he's pitching a decent game. Soto homered in that game. Soto had a couple of homers this weekend, so I hope finally everything's put to rest with Soto. He should have made the All-Star team, but he didn't. I don't know if it was a snub or whatever, but Montas.
I think you got to look at, to be honest, why Soto didn't make it. You got to look at the rest of the guys on that roster. Other than the guys that voted in, the bench players, there's some pretty. I don't know if there's a guy that you're going to put him. There's some pretty good outfielders in the National League this year. So I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but it's also understand. I think if he was in the American League, it would have been an automatic. He would have been in.
I think so, but
anyway, we said it before. Baez made the All-Star team. There's no way. Well,
I don't even want. Yeah, and the guy the Mets traded for him made the All-Star team. Of course. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. But let's bring in the Winick brothers. All right.
All right.
And there they are. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Nice to see you, Rob.
Yeah, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you on. People wanted to see some tricks, and we're going to talk about your business and everything. But I just wanted to talk a couple of minutes with Keith. Keith, what do you think so far about the Mets season so far?
Well, I guess if you told me they'd be where they are right now at the beginning of the season, I'd take it in a second. Half game out of first place, going to the All-Star break. Can't complain about that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, but from where they were at the beginning of the season, of course, you want more. And I feel very grateful that the Braves are where they are, and the Phillies haven't really taken off either.
Yeah, well, that good thing. But Keith used to go to Shea Stadium a lot in the 90s. All right. We went to a lot of games together, but we also went to Philadelphia to see the Mets play in Veterans Stadium. And we also went to Philadelphia. I met someone, and I was seeing her, and we went out there and we saw this game, Chris, where the Pirates played the Phillies in Philadelphia. Now, remember, we're in Philadelphia. Remember that game, Keith?
I actually looked it up to refresh. It was 1990. It was Doug Drabeck.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah, that's right, Chris. And listen, the Pirates won 11-0, right? But the funny thing about it was Drabeck was pitching a no-hitter into the 9th with 2 outs and a full count. And Phillies had a utility man. His name was Sil Campusano. All right. He was batting like 188. He broke up the no-hitter. The funny thing, though, Chris, I was talking to you about this off air. The funny thing that you'll never see again, the Phillies fans were cheering. Remember, Keith?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They wanted to see the no-hitter.
They wanted to see the no. Yeah, they wanted to see the no-hitter. Yeah, it would. Listen, it was 11-0, right? So really, that the Phillies weren't gonna come back. But the Philly fans, instead of being the obnoxious Philly fans, sorry Philly fans that you usually hear about, they were going wild by every pitch. We wanted to see it. We didn't, right?
Yeah,
we didn't care who won.
I'd never seen a no-hitter before. I was out again. I think with my brother. Actually, we saw Dwight Gooden take a no-hitter into the 9th.
Yeah, I saw a no-hitter in 2015 when Scherzer pitched a no-hitter against the Mets the last weekend of the season before the Mets were in the postseason. So I was at that game where Scherzer pitched the no-hitter. I didn't want to see the Mets get no hit, but I finally saw one. But yeah, Keith, we used to go to a lot of games. We saw Strawberry hit a lot of home runs out of Shea Stadium back then, right?
Yeah, I remember one game that I remember we went to, because we went to a few opening days for the Mets, and I don't know if you might not even remember. One of the games, opening days we saw, was actually the Colorado Rockies' first ever game.
Yes,
it was '93.
Yeah, I remember that. I have the scorebook from that. That's right. Keith, I actually went to every opening day from 1981 until 2007. I was at every opening day. So yeah, but we definitely went to a lot of games, and we had a lot of fun. But let's get to your business. Tell us about Winick Brothers Magicians. What's going on? We looked, and you do any kind of event. You even do weddings, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I'll tell you. I don't know as much about baseball as the three of you guys do, but what I do know is that Yankee fans and Met fans, they love magic. They all do.
Yes.
So we opened up this store. We're in northern New Jersey, right by the city in Nutley, and we get a lot of baseball fans in here too. But we do parties, and for kids, the kids can have their party here, their birthday party, and we do a magic show, and then they come and they bring pizza and cake, and we have arcade machines on the wall. It's a little intimate setting, and it's very, very comfortable in here, and we do a night show. We teach them tricks. We also have magic classes where we always give them a little bit of a show, and then we learn how to do a trick, and they fill up their magic bags with new tricks every week. And we do an adult show too, where people come, they BYOB, and it's a lot of fun for people to meet each other, and have a different kind of a night out where they're here. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. But tell us, like what would you do? What would you do at a wedding? You're actually doing comedy and magic, right? You're doing both.
We walk around. right? And we both put our tuxedos on, and we're like James Bond out there.
The weddings are great for the cocktail hours. It's at a time when people are coming out at a ceremony, everybody's happy, they're ready for a party, and it's just a perfect icebreaker to walk around table to table doing card tricks, rope tricks, like just interactive, laughing and having fun with the guests, and really goes over very well.
Yeah, look, it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how did you guys start? I seen all the videos on the page. I love the Odd Couple video. I think that's awesome. Yeah. Tell us how you got started. Tell us the story of you guys.
So one time, I hired a magician for my nephew's birthday party, and I had just gotten married, and my wife was going to have a baby. We didn't have enough money for the first mortgage payment, but we hired this magician. He came to the party, and he did a bunch of tricks, and he made a bunch of balloons, and I was watching him, and we paid him $250, and I was watching. I said, you know what? I could do that, and I started doing it. I went to the magic shop and bought a couple of tricks and learned how to make a bunch of balloons and kind of figured out how to put together a show. And that's how we started. My wife and I, my wife Kathy, my late wife Kathy, we ran the business together, and Keith was working with us too. And we were doing hundreds and hundreds of shows all of a sudden, and Keith was doing shows out. Keith was essentially substituting for me, right? Looked dressed up exactly like me, and we looked similar too. So we
nobody knew.
We were interchangeable, right? And then we had a television show with Uncle Floyd, if you remember him. He's still around, Floyd Bobino, and he got us a show on cable. And Keith and I, we're not actors, we're businessmen really, but we went on the show, and we were tasked with being funny on the show. We put together all kinds of sketches, and we interviewed everybody. We dressed our whole family. We had no money, no budget, just it was in the garage, like Wayne's World. But since we had a show, everybody started seeing us. We were on Friday nights at 8:00 on Comcast 3, all up and down New Jersey. So we gained popularity. People started hiring us because we were the guys on TV, and we did thousands and thousands of shows over the years, and I shut off the business. My wife passed away 12 years ago, and so I stopped the business, and I came back about 2 years ago, and now Keith and I are almost ready for retirement, and we decided we're gonna retire into the magic business.
Nice. I love it.
We're back.
Yeah. So I worked in the corporate world for the last 25 or so years, doing health and wellness, managing fitness centers for corporations. Actually worked at Prudential for 20 years, so I was really involved in that world. And, about 8-9 months ago, I left that world to, pursue something else. And, Greg's always had this dream of bringing the business and making it into something really big and really cool. And, having the security of working all those years in the corporate world, it was like the perfect time to just kind of leave there and just dive into this full time, and then opening up the store really took it to another level for us. And, it's just much more fun doing this than it is sitting in corporate meetings all day.
Of course. It's great. Everybody likes magic. TBK, I just want to say hello to TBK out there. Yes, the perfect trick for a wedding is make the mother-in-law disappear.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. But and TBK, that was a great show Friday night. We want to thank you again for coming on. But I looked at the pictures of your store. So you could have kids could have parties and they have to bring the food, right? But you provide. I saw you do have video games on the side. I saw. It seems like that would be really fun for a kid's birthday party.
Yeah, we're kind of our place. You can see some of the pictures. We're set into two sections. What you're seeing there now, and where we're sitting is in the performance area. We have a little stage set up behind us, stage area. We perform a show, very comfortable. Seating around here probably can sit, really 25 to 30 people pretty comfortably in this setting. And then on the other side, we have some tables there where we can set it up for a party. and stretch it out and have birthday parties, anywhere 15 to 20 kids, for a birthday party.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Tell us how did your opening week go? I know that you advertised that you were going to have free magic shows, and I guess also teaching a little. How did that go?
We knocked on a couple of doors on the main Franklin Avenue here in Nutley, and we walked into a few businesses and introduced ourselves, and so we're the Winick brothers, we're the magicians down the road. And I said, my brother Keith is going to show you a trick. And then he showed them a trick, a really funny thing. And they liked it. And they're all, we gave them a flyer saying we're going to have free shows. Everyone just put the flyer right in their window. And we had over 100 people sign up in the first 3 days for our free shows.
So much that we actually stopped promoting the free shows because we could only, a certain capacity. So that was great. So we're going to offer some more free shows, again this summer. Because it was just a great way people that came, they were just so excited to have this in town. We're from Nutley. We grew up in the town. We went to high school in Nutley. So we have that local kind of connection to the town as well. So it's great to be back.
Yeah, it sounds great. It sounds like a lot of fun. Probably I should have had magicians at both my weddings, and I probably should have brides.
Yeah. I think it's awesome to have. I think it would have been awesome to have a magician at a wedding, because it just kind of breaks things up too. Because weddings are just same thing, right? The cocktail hour, you come in, you dance, the first dance, the father dance, and then it's eat a little bit, dance a little, it's the same routine. So to throw to have you guys there, I think it would be awesome. I think you guys at a wedding that's a great idea.
We don't encroach into the intimacy of the wedding, like in the during the reception part. We're just there when people are starting drinking and kind of breaking the ice for everybody.
That's awesome.
It is really nice.
Yeah. Well, if I ever get married again, I'm definitely calling you guys.
I hope that you.
I think I was at your first wedding, actually.
Yes, you were at my first wedding. You were actually an usher at my first wedding.
I was.
I wish you would have known magic then and made her disappear. But I made her disappear, so it's it just took a little longer. But no, it's great. Are you guys going to do us a trick for us today?
Yeah, we got a few tricks.
So you got to understand. So we do tricks here, and we don't claim to be the greatest magicians in the world. I mean, we are not an and teller, all right. But we're trying. We're getting there, and we're getting bigger and better as we go. We're practicing everything we have. Now Keith's going to show you a trick that he.
Okay, one thing before you show. Chris, take that bottom banner down so that they could actually see him. Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
Oh, that's us. So Keith, we're going to push this down to the tip. Keith is going to show you a trick that he literally learned yesterday. So the chances of him messing it up are high.
I'm going to try.
But he's going to try. Right?
It'll be good try.
Why don't you move out of the way?
I'll come out of the way.
Set up here. So. Hopefully you can see.
Yeah,
you may not see my face, but you can see that. Okay, so I got a trick here. So those that know me actually know that I am a bit of a gambling man. I like to gamble. I like to play poker. Poker's my game. Me and my city, quite often at casinos and play poker. But also people that know me also know that I do not like to lose either.
Yeah.
I really don't like to lose. My brother can attest to that. So I got a game here that I found that I can't lose at. So Bob's using 4 kings. You can see they're all different suits: King of Hearts, King of Clubs, King of Diamonds, King of Spades. So for example, I just want you to just pick a number from 1 to 4.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, go ahead.
2.
Okay, so you pick number 2. Okay, so you can see. You see these cards on the screen there?
Yep.
Up there. Okay. So you pick number 2. So 1, 2. So we'll take this card out, put that over on the side here. So you can see you picked number 2 there. So you see you could have picked any one of these other cards. You could have picked the King of Spades, could have picked the King of Diamonds, could have picked the King of Hearts. But no, you picked the King of Clubs there. So you can see I knew you were going to pick the King of Clubs. I just knew it. because I knew you were picking, and the reason why I knew it, because this card, the King of Clubs, is the only card that has a different color back. And it's blue. So
That's cool.
I could have got lucky there. 1 out of 4 chance I got this one right.
Yeah.
So you can see, what if you would have picked one of the red cards here? Then you can see all I would have done is take the cards, spin them around, snap my fingers, and then you'll see that all the cards here are actually blue.
Wow.
So you see blue, blue, and blue. So again, I couldn't lose that one. Like I said, I don't like to lose here. So initially you picked one of the cards that was blue. So now what if you would have picked one of these cards, the King of Spades or the King of Diamonds? You'll see I still wouldn't have lost, because you'll see these cards also have a different color back. That one's yellow.
Wow.
Is green. So you see, this is a game that I cannot lose. So I like these kinds of games.
That's great.
That's I didn't screw it up.
Good job. Good job.
Listen, I can't, Chris, I don't know about you. I could talk about baseball. I could talk about sports all day long, but there's no way I'm doing magic tricks.
Yeah. I have to say, like, magic, I love watching magic, whether it's on TV or in a show. I think it's amazing. Even those other shows that show you the trick on how you do it and all that, I still think it's amazing. So I love all this stuff.
Me too.
So I'm gonna try a card trick also.
Can you see them okay?
I'm not sure if you can. Well, see, I have these cards. Now, but first of all, you have to spend many hours just practicing the little parts of your magic tricks, like flipping these cards in the air. Now, I've spent hours and hours, weeks really, just flipping these cards up and down into my hand. I can do it, fast. I can do it slower. I can do it faster. Or, I could do it really slow like that and make it, flip right. But I'm going to show you guys a card trick. I'm going to try to bring my table right up here first. Because, it's hard on the screen to do the kind of trick where you pick a card. So I'm going to show you an invisible deck of cards.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is virtually, pick one of these invisible cards. Rob, why don't you pick the card?
Yeah, Rob, you take it this time.
So reach into.
Okay, so just tell you what I'm picking.
Well, you're gonna reach. I want to see your hand come out in front of you.
Okay.
And
here we go.
From me. All right. So you pick the card. Now look at it.
Okay.
Look right at it. All right, you see it?
Yep.
Show it to Chris. Go ahead. Can you see Chris? Don't show it to Chris if that means you have to show it to us.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
All right. So you have your card. I want you to take the card. And I want you to turn it in the other direction, like turn it upside down.
Okay.
And now put it back in the deck in the other direction. Okay.
Okay, there it is.
I've received it here on the other end of the computer. All right, so now I'm going to take the cards and shuffle them. And I'll shuffle them really good. I'll put them back in the box. And I will take the box and put it in my pocket. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is turn the invisible deck of cards into a visible deck of cards. Ready? Here we go. Watch this. Done. Now you can see the cards.
Yes.
You see the cards now, right? They are visible now. You pick the card out of this deck. Right? You picked one.
Yeah.
What card did you pick?
I picked the Ace of Hearts.
The Ace of Hearts. Okay. Now you put it back in the deck in the opposite direction because I told you to turn it upside down.
Yes.
So the only card that should be in the opposite direction should be the Ace of Hearts. Right?
Okay.
So I'm going to open up this deck. And I'm going to open it. And I'm going to go through the deck. Can you see the deck? I want to make sure you see it on the screen.
Yes.
Right? All right. So the only card. Okay. Can you see here how there's one card in the opposite direction?
Yes. Yes.
You see it.
All the cards, right? And there's one that's in the opposite direction, right? And your card was what again?
Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts. So I'm going to have Keith come over here and let him pull that card out of the deck. and just show it on the screen if you can. All right, what card is that?
Wow.
Ace of Hearts. I don't know how you guys do that stuff, but that's great.
You know what? I'm gonna just try a little. Keith, any way that we could get the screen onto this table here, like completely down?
All right, there you go.
All right, so now, okay. So I'm what they call a mind reader.
Okay.
Right? I'm a mind reader. And, for example, Rob is thinking right now, he's not a mind reader, right? Is that what you're thinking? And
that's what I'm thinking.
Chris is thinking right now, oh, goody, he's a mind reader, right? But I am, right? So, Chris, can you see I have a pack of Post-its?
Yes.
On my shirt here.
Yep.
So I wrote something on these Post-its. And be honest, do you know what it says?
No.
All right. Now wait a second. How did you know that is what it says?
That's amazing.
That's good. You are a minder. So we're going to try something else here. Now I have in this packet, I have colors. I have blue, yellow, and red. All right, and you can see them on the table. Blue, red, yellow. All right, so Rob, can you just pick one of these colors? Which color do you pick?
Blue.
All right. I knew you would pick blue.
Okay.
I knew you would pick blue. If you could read what it says there.
You will pick blue.
I knew you would pick blue. Let's let Chris try. Rob picked blue. Chris, you try. Which one? Which color?
Yellow.
I knew you would pick yellow.
Of course.
I knew you would pick yellow because inside I wrote a prediction in this envelope. You can read that. Oh, what does that say?
You will pick yellow.
See, I knew you would pick yellow. Let's try one more time. Why not? Because there's still one color left. Rob, you can pick a color. Go ahead.
Is red one of those colors?
Yeah, red. This one, this is blue was already picked. Yellow was already picked.
Okay.
Red. You're choosing red.
Red. Yep.
All right. So I just want you to know, I knew you would pick red. I knew that you would pick red. Look what it says.
There it is.
That's great.
Not only
That's great.
did we do a trick just now, but really we taught you a trick too at the same time, right? And that's what we do here. We do magic tricks and we teach magic tricks, right?
Yes.
But I'm going to put this back. Keith is going to come back around. I don't know if you can get that. Do you have that penny you make disappear?
No,
I want to put that on the screen. Here, go up to the screen here. We're doing our best with this virtually. Let's see.
You're doing great, guys. You're doing great.
I don't know if you can.
I'll go on this side. See? No. Yeah. Get away from the header.
Okay,
Other way.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do you see the penny?
Do you see the penny on there? I don't know if it's hard to see.
Bring up a little bit. Come up a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. I see it. Yep.
Okay.
Right there.
So now I'm going to make this penny disappear. So I want you to focus on the penny. Concentrate on it. It happens really fast. Right before your eyes, that penny's going to disappear. Ready?
Wow.
Did you see what happened there?
Yeah.
That's a
little blurry, right? Yeah, that's all right. So that's kind of what we do in here, and we
do amazing magic,
awesome,
and we
man.
do fun.
You guys
magic.
are great.
Yeah, no, listen, that's a lot of fun. I love magic. And this is just it's great. I'm glad that that I found out you guys do this because this is a lot of fun. It's like it changed. We basically we're talking baseball. So it's good when we get guests to come on and do this stuff.
And one of the things that we, when we teach our magic, we do our shows. My brother can attest to this. We always like to have a message to come along with it. So if you read, like our About Us on our website, you can see, we're really about making a difference for people, and showing them, that their words are like magic. My brother's an English school teacher. He works with words all the time. He works with magic, but he always gives the message, your words are like magic. And when you say you're going to do something, you put it out there in the world, then you can accomplish this. I mean, we both have done this in our lives. One thing about me is that I don't know if you know I ran a lot of marathons.
Yes.
And I ran that first marathon. I got hooked on it. I loved it. But I really put out a goal for myself. I decided I was going to run a marathon in every state. And the first thing I had to do was put those words out there, say what it is that I want to do, and really live into it and live into that. And I did. And I did complete a marathon in every single state. And it was quite a journey. And for me, quite a personal accomplishment. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't first say it and make it happen.
Say the words. I ran a couple with them. I
did.
Tagged along a couple of times. But important thing that we always say is that before we were magicians, we weren't magicians. You hear what I said? Before we were magicians, we were not magicians until we said the words and we made up a story about how it would happen. And the story was that we were going to learn a bunch of tricks and learn how to put on a show. And then we just kind of lived into the story, right? Because it was the words that made it happen, though. You say what you want, you create a story about how it will happen, and then you go ahead and you live into that story. And the more detailed and creative that story is that you create, the more likely it is that you will succeed in whatever it is that you do. So that's our message that we try to bring out always.
And that's great. And before we came on, I told Chris about Keith running marathons in every state because I followed it on Facebook when he posted it. And it's just amazing that you did a marathon in Alaska, you did a marathon in Hawaii. I mean, those are the two toughest states really to get to. And you ran a marathon. Like how was running? I've been to Hawaii a million times because I also live there, so I know Hawaii. But Alaska, how was running the marathon in Alaska?
People always ask me a lot about what my favorite race was, what my favorite state was, and while the actual course that I ran, it was in Anchorage, Alaska that I ran. Probably wasn't the most scenic course. It was nice with some mountains, but it could have been better for Alaska, but I must say Alaska, of all the states I visited, is my favorite state. And I was just blown away about Alaska, the mountains. Me and my wife at the time, we drove around and saw so much of it. We went hiking on a glacier. There was just nothing compares to the land in Alaska. So I definitely want to get back there again someday, but just the beauty, of that, and just seeing the beauty of a lot of the other states, in the Midwest and Wyoming and Utah and Montana, it's just really a cool experience. But from a sports perspective, one of my favorite races that I ran was in Green Bay, because in the last mile of the race, you actually ran into Lambeau Field, like down the stairs, and you actually ran out the players' entrance onto the field and did a lap around Lambeau Field.
Oh, that must have been great.
Sports fan was so cool.
Yeah. That's definitely so cool. I mean, Chris, that might give you a reason to run a marathon.
Yeah, trust me. I wish I could. I could walk a marathon. I can't run one though.
I'm with you too. I can't, but I just wanted to get to one comment. Joe Dell said the best baseball trick was when Cohen made, I think you meant the Wilpons, Joe, disappear.
Yes. That was definitely
but yeah, it's like it must be great to run those marathons in all these different states. I'm with you, Chris. I wish I could run a marathon too.
When I ran these marathons, I ran with a good friend of mine who was also he's still finishing his quest to run every state. But he's also one of my big golfing buddies. I'm a big golfer too, and so we probably played golf in about 30 of those states too when we went. So sometimes I used to always joke that our marathon trips were like golf trips disguised as marathon trips.
Hey, listen, that would be a great excuse to get to all these different golf courses in all these different states. It's I don't know. You guys, I love the tricks. They were great. We definitely hope you come back on. We'd like to have you on one of our Friday night show when we get like we get our really huge audiences on Friday nights. So that would be great. But we got to get back to baseball for a bit. So I wanted to talk to Keith a little about the Mets. What did you, before anything happened, what did you think about the Mets giving Soto such a huge contract? Were you happy with that, or do you think that, that was just too much money?
I always say, not my money.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
From a fan perspective, I wanted him, and, as long as, like I said, it's not my money, I'm not paying it. And as long as it didn't prevent them from making other moves, which I think with Steve Cohen, it probably doesn't. It seems like he's probably willing to spend, and it didn't necessarily seem like it hindered making other moves that they needed to make. And, so I was fine with it. Listen, I wasn't thrilled with the start of the season, and and I don't know what's going on with him with runners in scoring position. That is just the weirdest stat out there. Looking at how poorly he hits with runners in scoring position, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, Chris, last year, he didn't have that problem last year with the Yankees, did he?
No, he was pretty good with us last year. I mean, even in the playoffs, he was always clutch. Listen, I think Soto's going to be fine, especially in the second half. We've been saying it, and he already is fine. It's not like, should have been on the All-Star team this year. That's how good he was. But yeah, he's going to be fine. I mean, this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to go down as, we've been saying he's going to go down as the greatest Met position player of all time, right? Seaver's obviously the greatest pitcher without a doubt. But I mean, he's going to be here 14 years, and he's going to give you all these numbers every year: 35, 40 home runs, 100 RBIs. He's going to drive in some runs, don't worry, especially with guys in scoring position. But he's going to have all these records to himself. I think it's amazing. He might even get a statue by the end of this, by the end of his career. You never know.
You never know. It's and I know we've been going through this back and forth. The Yankee fans, it's too much money and all the sour grapes and stuff. But Chris was never one of those. Chris understands it's business. It's about the biggest payday, and you can't blame the guy. You can't blame him for signing with the Mets.
Right? He did what any one of us would have did, right? You go for the most money. All right, it's to the other team, but still, he went for the most money. It's as simple as that, And
I do worry what's his contract how's it gonna impact signing Alonso at the end of the season if he decides to opt out?
Agree. That could be an issue, but listen, you guys got an owner that has been willing to spend money, like a lot of money, more than every team out there, maybe other than the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers are the only other team that's got a little bit more money than this guy, and he's been throwing his money around. So if they decide to re-sign him, they're going to re-sign him. I don't think it's going to be about, we already spent $800 million on Soto, we can't sign him. I think it's it might be bye Alonso. You never know, because you know what, another team might come out with a bigger offer. You just don't know.
Yeah, well, listen. Alonso's opting out of this contract. There's no way he's not opting out of it unless the Mets blow him away before the end of the season, which Alonso, when they asked him, I guess last week, he said he wants to focus, of course, on baseball, and he doesn't even want to talk about it now. Hey, listen, what happened last offseason, Chris, we couldn't believe, even though he didn't have a great year last year, we couldn't believe that, there wasn't that interest from anybody. You'd think maybe Seattle would have had interest on Alonso. And he signed back with the Mets, but he's going to opt out of that contract. There's no doubt in my mind. And it's going to come down to if Cohen wants him or not, which is always the case. It doesn't matter what Stern says. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters except for one thing. If Steve Cohen wants to sign Alonso, if he wants to make him a lifetime Met, that's what it's going to come down to. But Alonso is definitely going to opt out. And what Jonathan say, You heard Alonso, the Boston Giants or Cubs. Listen, he could use them in negotiations, of course.
Yeah.
Or any one of them could sign. Listen, I could, if the Mets don't re-sign him. Yeah, if the Mets don't re-sign him, Chris, I could see him going to Boston. Or
why not?
I could see him going to Wrigley Field. Imagine if he played in Wrigley Field as his home field.
Listen, just like Soto, he's going to go where the money goes. And you said it before. If Cohen wants him, he's going to be a Met for life, right? If Cohen says, "Hey, listen, make this guy a Met for life, make it happen," they'll make it happen. If he's like, "Nah, maybe not," and let's see what he gets out there, and then we'll match it or whatever, then there's a whole other issue. But like he said, if it was up to Stearns, I don't think he would get signed. But if Cohen says, "No, make this guy a Met for life, he's the most popular Met," all that stuff, then yeah, I think he's going to be a Met for life.
Yeah, and Keith, one of the things about Cohen is he's a Met fan like us, so he wants, it means more to him as an owner than let's say the Wilpons, of course, right. or a lot of other owners, excluding George Steinbrenner.
World Series.
Yeah,
he absolutely wants that World Series. He wants to try to do it.
Yeah, and he's got the money, he's got the deep pockets, and Chris, he's got long enough arms, unlike
unlike other owners, right? I agree, night. But that's what an owner should be like. Why are you in it just to, be an okay team or be a popular team? No, I want to be in it to win it. That's the competitor in all of us, right? We want to win. You guys want to be not just good musicians. You guys want to be great musicians. If you guys just want to be good musicians, yeah. Right? It's the same thing. But you want to get better and better and better. You want to be at the top. I watch America's Got Talent every year.
Yeah,
you guys would be awesome on there. I'm not saying winning. I'm not saying, because some of these magicians are just ridiculous what they do. But I think you guys would be awesome on there. I would love to see you guys on.
Did you ever think it?
We're trying.
Did you guys ever think of doing that?
Good.
We're not there yet, but we're working on some really good comedy stuff.
Right, you got the two things combined. I think that's a lot of times, you see these shows. You have to be unique. You can't be just a great musician. You have to be unique, and you guys bring that uniqueness with the comedy aspect to it. I think you guys would be awesome.
Yeah, and the thing with you guys, you both have not only talent, but you got personality too. I mean, I've known Chris and I've known Greg like forever, and even though I haven't seen them that much in years, they've always had talent. These guys they always come up with these ideas and all different businesses and stuff, and they're just a lot of fun.
Greg could tell you he's had a lot of businesses in his life. This wasn't his first business venture.
I know. I remember when you used to tell me, not knowing how to own a pizzeria, he opened up a pizzeria in Florida. I remember
a hot dog cart at the Jersey Shore, and you know what? Just like I said, we just made it up. My partner and I, my fraternity brother from college, we said, okay, we're going to open a hot dog cart at the Jersey Shore. So we bought one and we put it out there on the street in Ocean Grove by Asbury Park, and then we saw a restaurant that had no food outside. We said, what if we put a hot dog cart there? And then we bought another hot dog cart and put it there. And they owned two other restaurants. Before you knew it, by the end of the first summer, we had 6 hot dog carts.
Wow.
We were 18 years old, and we had 6 hot dog carts at the Jersey Shore. And our whole fraternity came down and was working the carts. And, we blew all the money as fast as we could make it. Hot dogs for breakfast and every single day. And, but then we said, okay, let's sell all the hot dog carts and open up a pizzeria, like you mentioned. And we didn't even know how to make pizza at all. We kind of made it up. Okay, wait, they're supposed to be round, whatever. And
it's supposed to be round.
Yes, they did that. And they moved to Daytona Beach and opened up a pizzeria in Daytona Beach.
We learned so much back then, as
That's
young
awesome.
people.
And we owned an employment agency together.
We had 2 employment agencies, and then we opened up this entertainment company. But it was always just, okay, let's do this. And how are we going to do it? We kind of like made up a story of how it was going to happen.
That's amazing. That's so inspirational for everybody. You know what? You got to take that first step, right? You got to do it. Like you said, you got to say it in your head and make it happen. But a lot of people are afraid to take that step. sometimes you can't, right? Financially, whatever, you got other issues or whatever, but to make it happen, you have to take that first step. And I think that's awesome that you guys have done that.
It is. It's kind of like this show too. We were on this. Chris did another show called Talking Rivals. It was him and it was a Red Sox guy, and it was a good podcast. It wasn't video, and I was a guest on it because we also did shows on SportsWire Radio together. But his partner left, and he asked me to do a show with him, and I'm like, yeah, why not? So we started off as a podcast. And, it started off slow. And then all of a sudden we had Ed Lynch come on the show. How did we get Ed Lynch, former Mets player? I don't know. I don't even remember how it happened.
It's like what you guys said. You take that first step. We just reached out. Hey, if he doesn't answer or if he goes, get away from me or whatever, get lost, it's like, all right. But he answered. He was like, yeah, I'll come on. So I think that's
funny that you said that, because I was just on the phone with a friend of mine who's a popular magician. And he's out in Las Vegas, and he was staying at David Copperfield's house.
Wow!
And I said, "Let me talk to him." And he put me on the phone with him. And I said, "Hey, we're the Winick brothers," and he knew who we were because all the magicians know. Mike, we're the small time guys in New Jersey on Facebook. Right. And but New Jersey's a big hub for population and everything. So they know who the small time guys are. Big time guys, David Blaine and David Copperfield, and my other friend, all those guys in Vegas. But they know the little guys too, because we're a group. So
that's incredible.
It just
we represent the loser magicians, right? That's us.
No, you guys are winners, man. You guys are doing
you guys are definitely.
I always think about too, like magicians, say 100 years ago, when you think about guys like Houdini, right? When they were doing their thing. Like, were people looking at them as like these, mystical people? Because back then you believed everything you seen. There was no faking it. Like here, you're on video, you could, do certain things or whatever. But back then, it's like they must have looked at them as like the devil or something. And I don't know, right? It must have been amazing.
Sure there was some of that,
But I mean, everybody. I've seen a bunch of in Vegas, and I've been on a lot of cruises in my time, so I've seen a lot of magicians on cruise ships and stuff. And like the thing you did with the envelopes, you did it. Listen, those guys do it a lot on cruise ships. You did it. You were great. That was great. The tricks. Listen, I was impressed by the tricks that you showed us.
We buy our stuff from other people. These guys, they go on to the show Penn and Teller, Fool, Penn and Teller.
Yes.
They show a trick and then they try to figure it out. And then if they win the show, you know what they do when they win the show? They sell the trick online for $20. So we keep buying these tricks for $20.
That's great.
Hey, that's awesome.
I think that's different nowadays when you get these kids that come to the show and all these. I know how you did that. I know how you did that.
Of course.
They know what they do because with YouTube, they just go on there and see how to learn.
I don't want to see that. I personally don't want to see that stuff. I want to believe in magic. I look at you guys and you guys are doing magic. I believe in all of it. I hate to watch those. Oh, look at how this happened. Sometimes I'll watch it just out of curiosity. Like that one girl who was changing her dress. I think it was on American.
She was great. Solange is her name, right?
Yeah. I was curious.
I think this is it. I think this is what Joe Dell was talking about,
he's
right?
Talking about the Spice Girl. That's one of the hosts on.
He put space, but he meant Spice. Okay, I got it. But all right, we got a couple minutes left. Chris, you wanna talk to Keith about the questions that we always ask guests about baseball before we go?
Yeah, we always ask this question to our guests. If you were named commissioner today, what changes or change would you make in Major League Baseball? You both could answer this, actually.
Yeah, no, you're probably. I would get rid of things that just happened. I'm not a fan of the pitch clock. I know speed of game. To me, the game being long was never a problem for me personally.
Right.
Especially when you go to a game. Now you go to a game and you really do miss like a whole inning when you're going to the bathroom or you get a hot dog or something. And I hate that from that perspective. So get rid of the pitch clock. making the bases bigger, go back to the way they were. The only being able to throw over, 2 times, that's the stuff that I'm a purist, I guess you could say. And those changes just to me changed the game. It really did change the way the game was played.
Yeah.
It changes the stats. It changes, I think the pitchers have adapted now to the pitch clock. That first season, I think some pitchers didn't, and it was really, kind of a mess. And I think some of the Mets pitchers particularly couldn't adapt to that. But, I go back to some of those things and get rid of
okay.
That. And starting on second base in the
yeah,
nobody does.
Yeah, I think
you get a hot dog and a beer for $3.
Yeah.
Now it's like $75 for 2 hot dogs.
That's something we'll never. That's one thing we'll never see.
$3 I'll take at this point.
Yeah.
Or a drink for $3.
And Jonathan, what's Jonathan saying that if he was commissioner, he would change the All-Star game to MLB Stars versus the Savannah Bananas?
I like it.
It would be fun.
Listen, Jonathan, that would be fun. That'll never happen, but that would be fun. In fact, we're trying to get someone from the Savannah Bananas on the show. I'm working on it. We got a bunch of other stuff that we're working on it, but before we go, I just wanna, Keith and Greg, why don't you plug your business again and give the address again one more time? Because this is going to be after we're done. This is going to be also put the podcast. It's going to go all over the place. We have a ton of listeners everywhere. So just give the address. Anything else you want to say about the business?
So we're at 141 Franklin Ave in Nutley. That's the main street in Nutley. We're open all 7 days a week. We're here on the weekends doing adult parties. We sell tickets for our adult parties on Eventbrite, and you can look for that.
We actually have an event that there's still room available for July 26th. It's a Saturday night at 7:00. It's an adult. It's actually our first paid adult event here that we're having. It's $30. You can sign up on Eventbrite. I think
on Meetup.
There's Meetup also, Winick Brothers Magicians, and that's going to be such a fun event. It's going to be a 45-minute magic show followed by walk-around magic. We'll do tricks at the table. It's a bring your own. It's going to be a mixed crowd, so like I said, bring your friends. Sign up for that. There's still some room available.
We have all kinds of classes available too. Like we have magic classes for kids, but we have magic classes for only adults. We have specialized card trick classes. We teach all kinds of different card tricks. We even have balloon classes because we make balloon signatures. So it's always been part of our business. The guys that make the big twisty hats, and that's us. We do that too. And we have classes that teach you how to make balloons. We have classes that teach you how to do face painting too. We bring in some of our face painters, and they come in. A lot of the moms want to learn how to do that for their own parties. So everything that's party oriented, we teach here too. Yeah, we work with other vendors to send out other entertainers. We even have some musical acts that we work with that we can send out, photographers, DJs, again, face painters, balloons. So it's not just what we do in the store. We send out to others. It's like a circus here. We have still painters. We can get all that. Jugglers.
Yeah, Joe Dell said this was such a fun show. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, it definitely was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
We want you guys to come back, but we want you guys to come up with a baseball trick next time.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. All right, see if you could get a baseball trick. I would love to have you guys on it. Chris would too, like on a Friday night when we have a huge crowd on, and that would be a lot of fun. Chris,
you guys got to come on before you guys get really big, and you'll never have time.
Yeah. Chris, you have anything else baseball wise? We got the All-Star game Tuesday. We got the home run derby tonight. Are you excited about the home run derby at all, Chris?
I don't know. I mean, Jazz is going to be in it, so that's cool. We got one New Yorker in there. I don't know. It's fun to watch sometimes. I don't like the format now. I like the old format, but
yeah,
I don't want to sound like too much of a the old guy get off my lawn type of guy. So I just listen. I love baseball. I love everything about it, flaws and all. I hate some of the things that they've done. Like I agree with you, the extra runner, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I still love it. I look forward to the All-Star game. And then the second half, man, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a good second half for both our teams in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, both our teams are busy getting some extra players because that's what we both need to really make a serious run at the World Series. And who knows? Maybe we'll get another Subway Series, which I do not want, but
I do want. I do want. All right, so we're going to be back Friday. I'm not sure if we're going to be back at 3 p.m. or at night as a post-game show. We'll let everybody know. We got other stuff coming up real quick I wanted to mention. We're going to be back on the Pesky podcast, Chris. July 24th as the guests again. So looking forward to that.
Talking about the trade deadline, and hopefully by then we'll, both our teams have been made, have made a couple of deals, and we'll see. I think it's going to go right down to the wire because I think we mentioned it. A lot of these teams are kind of waiting to see if they're buyers or sellers. So it's, they're kind of waiting till the very last day that they can. So it's at the end of the month. So we'll see, but should be fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So we'll catch everybody sometime on Friday. And like we said, thanks, subscribe, like. TikTok, I just wanted to mention, we're exploding on TikTok with our clips. I can't believe in a week and a half, 1,000 people have followed us on TikTok.
Maybe you should show the Winick brothers how to set up TikTok. And
I just set one up. I don't think I have any followers right now.
Okay.
Follow us. Yeah, if you want.
Brothers Magicians, we're out there.
Yeah, TikTok, it's unbelievable how we're exploding everywhere. It's great. I'm not complaining. But we'll see everybody Friday. Keith, Greg, thanks for coming on. Thank you
guys. Remember, WinickBrothers.com. Check out their website. They got tons of videos.
Thank you so much for having us.
All the info, the phone number, call them, set up a party. These guys are awesome. I wish I was in Jersey. I would have a party there myself. But
definitely.
Thank you guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.